Greetings and salutations. I have an essay to write on how epilepsy has affected my life. This is for a scholarship opportunity from our local epilepsy foundation. I also have recommendations. For example, I've known this person for X number of years, and said person is a shoo-in for this because this. Being that I'm a bit of a visual human being who also reacts to bad things using a sense of humor and sometimes a vocabulary that would make an 18th century sailor blush, I decided to do the slightly less appropriate version first. How has epilepsy affected your life? Well, to be brutally honest, sometimes it's been sucky. And when I travel, my makeup bag contains an alphabetized selection of medications. This does not include my folic acid or my melatonin or my vitamins. And one of these cost $60 a day for a 30-day supply. Excuse me? Also, what the heck? Pharmaceutical companies, when it possibly cost less than a penny per pill. Get yourself sorted out. So there's that monetary issue. The lack of driving. And let's be honest, there's a bit of lust that makes my eyes glaze over when I see a car I like, and the hope that I can save for said car so that I can have my very own, and the want to learn how to drive again, preferably with a professional that isn't touchy-feely. So, gazing longingly at Mini Coopers and beautiful bright orange trucks for some reason. Because I am, if you were to ask me my favorite colors, orange is just generally not one of them. But here we are. If I get a Mini Cooper Clubman and save up for said Mini Cooper Clubman, I'd probably want one in blue or bright blazing red like the lipstick I'm wearing. Okay, so the lack of transportation on my very own, so I don't have to ask for help. And that's been another thing, is learning how to ask for help, learning who to ask for help, learning not to be ashamed when asking for help. And that's still difficult because I want to do everything on my own. Learning who to trust and how to say, nah mate, get screwed. Because I've had people in my life who have said things like, maybe you shouldn't be alone, or have been a bit threatening, like the person who I used to somewhat idolize because they were far older and they were someone that I loved very, very deeply, telling me that they wanted a photo of me being punched in the head because they thought that would be funny, and also threatened that they were going to, quote unquote, take care of me, because apparently to them any disability means that you cannot go it alone, and it just sounded like a jail sentence, or that I was going to be hurt. And learning how to say to someone, I don't trust this. I don't like this. I don't feel comfortable or safe. And asking for help and making sure that I was comfortable or safe. For this, I recommend my video on, powers of attorney, which I am linking in an iCard in the corner. Hi, editing me. Don't forget, you need to put that video in the iCard. And it's the dark, dense, and important. And it talks about living your best life with a disability and making sure that you are safe and that you have someone to go to if you are in trouble and cannot speak for yourself. All right, back to video me. Whoosh. Epilepsy has affected the way I eat, even more so than my celiac diagnosis from 2009. I tend to eat a more high-fat, moderate-protein, low-carb diet, and I will probably be going completely keto again, but first I need to talk with my neurologist and see if this would be a good idea, just because there's a few things going on and more headaches, so yeah. So it's affected how I trust people, and I've had to learn to trust other human beings and who to go to when I know that I can't go it alone and that I need help. To those people, you are loved. I am grateful beyond all means. I have learned gratitude. I have learned to be more stubborn, but I am grateful. I know that there are times when I cannot go it alone. And when that happens, I have people that I can go to. Epilepsy has sometimes affected my emotions. Being stressed out, being worried when someone says, "Here, let me help you." Because some people have been a bit threatening, and that's not okay. To learning about anger and when it's righteous, like that Sia interview, in which I quote the host from Stories of Women by Lifetime said something like, I mean, she's completely mute. Here she is sitting, she like an object. Bitch, what? Are you completely serious here? To knowing when to say, okay, look, I have a disability, and understanding that I can say this and that it is not a shameful thing. To being able to say without shame, I have a disability. I'm not an X-Men. And now I will proceed to set off this random metal detector with nothing in my pockets and shoot daggers in your general direction. And clap my feet at you because apparently I'm having a Gumby day due to my collagen issues. Which are not related to the epilepsy, but they do apparently work off of each other. Because why not? To having a vocabulary, once again, that could make a sailor from the 1800s swear, or sorry, blush. This is me. Deal with it. To having a more disturbing sense of humor than I already had. Yeah. To sometimes having issues with concentration and sleep but having the stubbornness to keep going, even when I probably should rest. And yes, knowing when to say, I am having trouble with this and I need help. To doctors. Soon I'll hopefully be able to trust a new doctor. I definitely have some problems with some trauma I acquired from an earlier neurologist who gave me extremely bad news, but never really helped. And a lot of the medications I was given were working off of each other and causing issues. There was the one that gave me a head like a basketball and lips like a Kardashian, which is kind of not a great look. Although I have to say that red was fabulous. It kind of looked like the same face I had when I was stung in the eye by a bee, because I'm also allergic to bee venom, because awesome. And I am doing this in my own vernacular. I'm not trying to put it into AAP format, because this is just a practice run on video with, okay, I can work from this, or I can get a little bit annoyed and say the things that I have never said. I've learned who to trust, and I've learned who I can't trust, and I've learned when to walk away. I've become more infatuated by the shape of the skull. I also framed an MRI image of my skull because I thought it was pretty. And was quite proud of another MRI image that kind of looks like an alien. I have an alien in my head. And I have gone past expectations, and I have shown that I can do more than people expected out of me or thought I could ever do. And I've known love that taught me whom and when I can trust. And I've learned to speak out. Not just for me, but for others when there are problems. Instead of just being quiet. It's also done some terrible things to my emotions, to the point where sometimes I'll be watching a video about a puppy chasing butterflies and find myself sobbing even more than I already did, and I still hear the, "Oh, you're so sensitive." Again, this is me. Deal with it. And I'm learning more about myself every day. I'm going places, and one day I'll have a car so I can go that much faster. But I've also learned that there's beauty in the slow and in the quiet. And there's beauty in everyone. You're loved. Take care. Me, I have an essay to write in which I really should be more businesslike. Oh joy. And probably avoid the cuss words. Take care.